for seekers. He said, I don't know Sanskrit. So the poet translated those verses into Tamil, one of the languages in southern India. And based on that, he crafted 20, 40 verses, so called. And then that Tamil poet translated the Tamil into the Sanskrit, and that became a book. He did not study anything, but he was unparalleled. Like Ramakrishna Paramhans, like Vivekananda, like, did I tell you? My master used to say that in the previous birth, I was Rama, Swami Ram Tirth. He was also a great master. So Swami Ram Tirth visited United States. And he was also known as awakened. He was unparalleled. He was a great mathematician, but later then he turned into an awakened master. Why I'm telling you? Because it helps us that in whatever the situation we are, we can reach to that state. So he was known as that he had met God, he communicates with the God. That is what the society gets attracted. So a close contact, an American of Swami Ram Tirth, happens to know FDR, Franklin Roosevelt. So they happen to meet. So why you have come to United States? To just ask you, seek your help to liberate India from the rule of the Britishers. Anyhow, the Roosevelt joked. I heard that you have seen the God. Can you help me find the God? Swami Ram Tirth said yes. So what I have to do? So you tell me you're right, you tell me your real home, I will send the God to you. It's a symbolic, metaphorically. Now my home is this White House. Now that's your temporary home. I'm asking your real home. My ancestors' home. Now that is your ancestors. It's very difficult, when you are born in US and you are dominated by egoistic society of possession, of pleasure, of using too much of the worldly objects. So he said the real home lies deep inside your heart. So you find the real home, I will send the God to you to communicate. That was a small conversation took place between Franklin.
That's pretty interesting.
Right.
Did President ever take yoga any further? Did that president?
We don't hear that. And then Swami Ram Tirth felt that no, my place is India, so he went back to India. He did not spend too much of time. He spent about 1.5 years. Swami Ram Tirth. So the way Swami Ram Tirth used to speak, my master used to say. That's why he often used to. Swami Ram Tirth has a couple of books, which is available in PDF. Free on the Google, Swami Ram Tirth, and his works is worth reading. You just read it in the woods of forest. The way he explains, I use some of his metaphors. So the complete transformation takes place. That is an indication in the chapter 7. That you move from the self-dependence to so-called the God dependence. Here the God is, I remember what I have to tell you. but I'm laying a foundation. I remember what I have to talk today that gives you, so you move from the self-dependence to God-dependence. God-dependence means the innermost self. Behind the Rajoguna plus the consciousness. Behind the self-dependence means individual. God-dependence means innermost self. So we are not, we are not teaching any religion. Worship this God, pray this God, and everything will happen. No, we have to discover. So now the second message the Krishna gives in this in the form of upasana and blessing and the grace. Master says that just analyze your multiple attachments. You are attached to your honey, you are attached to the money, you are attached to the car, you are attached to the house. Now have a single attachment to the inner self. When? By knowledge. How? Again, I'm using another metaphor. So when you are strolling in a store or a mall, do you know me? Yes, I know you when even when I'm choosing a dress in the mall, when I'm eating the food in a restaurant, I still know you. Very good, very good. When you drive, do you know me? Yes, that's the knowledge. Why you're asking me? I'm asking you, do you know yourself in all the locations? That you are pure consciousness, you are of the nature of real self, you are of the nature of peace and happiness, love, truth and wisdom. Oh, that is why Krishna says move from ignorance to wisdom. That is why the Krishna lays too much of stress on understanding plus reflection. Why reflection? Reflection means by reflection your mind loses the impurity, loses the attachment. Okay, and the practice of meditation helps you realize that. But to know you, I just heard your name and then I know you. Yes, objective word, it is very easy to know. But why? Mind is overwhelmed with the objective worldly knowledge. It has practiced for millions of years since our birth, and that is why we can easily remember. The knowledge of the objective world settles, but knowledge of the subjective self cannot be settled without single attachment to the Krishna. Whether you say single attachment to the Krishna or the Shiva or innermost self, whatever, I am again repeating you for understanding. Krishna with the name and the form, if you get attached to that name in the form, what happens? You have a single attachment. No, but how it is a single attachment? I go to the honey and I say, when I go to the honey and say honey, my mind retrieves those sensual feelings. No. My Krishna appears in the name and the form of a honey. My daughter appears in the name, Krishna appears in the name and the form of a daughter. My employee, Krishna appears in the name and the form of a. I have to follow this knowledge all the time. So then what happens? You are purifying the mind. So that is why Krishna says, I am also present as a name in the form. Why? So that you worship me, you meditate on me. How you meditate and worship? Worship is mean that I simply become aware you are Krishna appearing in the name in the form. So even computer, yes. Why? We have already understood the basic. Consciousness plus tamoguna is material world. Also everywhere. Yes. So that is upasana. That is worship. That is devotion. This is what the Krishna is saying. Krishna is not saying that you have to go to the temple and chant, "Oh Father, be in heaven, holy be your name." No, your name is already holy. Jesus says, I have heard it many a times. Are you holy or not? Tell me. Are you holy or not? Holy means, are you whole or not? we have nothing to do with the religion. So that is multiple attachment to the single attachment.
I was gonna, an observation I've noticed that when I'm looking at nature, or if I'm watching, say, even a nature show or an animal do something, all I can see, or mostly what I see, is the consciousness acting, and it's such a marvel. And I think, but everything now is just that. Right? But then I realized, oh, that is me actually worshiping,
yes,
Shiva,
yes.
Right? That's
that is worshiping Shiva. In the last Thursday's session, it came to my mind in the group session. I told everyone that my guru appears in the name and the form of every individual in the group. That is the reason I am teaching you up. Why I am teaching? Because I am revising what my master taught me. But why I am revising? I want to authenticate, still I can live into that state or not. So everyone looked at me. I told them that I am extremely selfish guy. I do it for myself. I don't do anything for you. That is a single attachment. That is the way. Krishna did not say, Arjuna, that please sit down, practice meditation. Arjuna was a great seeker. Because he was a great seeker, that is why this teaching is still available to all of us. To become the greatest seeker and to reach to that understanding, after some time we will leave the passive practice of meditation because we can recognize and realize that. So the worldly fade. Another point the master is saying, moving from the false eye to the real eye, the fade in the world blossoms into the divine fade. That now I see, seeing the unseen hand guiding my path. It's a blessing and the grace. How the unseen water appears as the waves, guiding the path of the waves, guiding the path of an individual. That is my innermost self. That is my innermost self, without name in the form. It is the same Shiva. Yes, it is the same Shiva in the heart, in the cave of the heart. Really? So what happens is, when you recognize Shiva in the name and the form of honey, it helps you to get rid of the attachment and delusion. When you recognize the innermost self in you, it throws out your ego. Either I have to perform ego-driven thought, speech and action, or I should have a thought, speech and action driven by that innermost self. Why we have the innermost self without name in the form? To get rid of the ego. Then how to recognize that real self? We are already doing it, moving from ignorance to the wisdom. We are understanding these principles to reach there. So why we have, Krishna says, I have three eyes. You have to understand this. Ego-based action transforms into devotion-based action. Then what happens? Then your mind says, I'm doing it for you, Shiva. I'm doing it for you, Master. I'm simply saying, my friend, you simply even think of it, and your mind is filled with such a silent pause in the joy inside. Did I tell you it happened in one session from India? This guy who has been studying with me, who has been with me almost for 30 years, is an engineer. Engineer means you are intelligent. He passed out engineering from a reputed institution in India. Majority of those graduates are working in US. So you may be a genius, but you may live in ignorance. So I introduced him to my master. So he used to go there and used to enjoy. So this time he said, I'm totally depressed and frustrated. I said, what happened? Now it took me 5 hours to reach from the capital to reach to his monastery, and I was totally tired and frustrated. And then I returned. I feel pain. I said, you should not have gone. My master did not say. Now my master is no more. So they offer meditation there in that monastery. I said, you should not have gone there. Master did not call you. Why you have gone there? If you are feeling frustrated. So you performed an ego-based action for a selfish reason to please the guru. It will not work. So he looked at me. I said, stop it. Even you stop attending my session, please. I will be grateful. But anyhow, he attended the next session. So this is what the master is saying. So what happens? What happens then is that there is an endless cycle of problem solving. Dissolves into problem dissolving. You dissolve the problem. And I told him that 26 years I was with the master. I used to travel sometime 8 hours, 12 hours of driving. And the moment my mind says I'm going to meet my master, I have never felt hunger. I said, first I will reach there. I will see his physical form. I will touch his feet. And that is my food. That is my everything. I never felt it. Many a times it happened to me. So now another problem. What was in those days, I never thought, what is this happening to me? After 20 years, I reflected on that what kind of a crazy guy you were. You were driving for 10 hours and you reached that and you never felt it. And then I realized this is the principle. It perhaps came, revealed. I never felt. And I told you that I used to reach half an hour before my master starts his talk and discourse. I said, I'm relaxed and I'm calm. My mind is highly receptive. So let me set the stage. So more than after 15 years, it's not ego, but what master says, there are two types of seekers. One who waits for the guru and other allows the guru to wait for them. This is what the problem dissolving is. And it's not a big deal. I'm aware, I'm relaxed, I'm calm, I'm receptive. Oh, why I'm receptive? I have to learn. So I have to learn from my master. So what happens? You move from the self-reliance, ego-driven reliance into a reliance of the innermost self. He did not say anything when I told him that this is what happened. You used to go with me. You have never seen, I was so happy, elated. I never asked anything.
I've noticed that if I can remember that the self is unchanging, when I'm tired or sick or something, I can literally just kind of dissolve it, like you just said.
It dissolves.
I've seen that more frequently lately. It's like, oh, I can see that, experience that.
Yes. You have to live into that constantly and consistently until we reach to a point where I say, I knew you, I know you. When I'm in the mall, I still know you. I'm driving, I still know you. I'm lying down on the bed, so I know you in all locations? Yes. I know you in all names in the forms? Yes. I know you in all the actions? Yes. What is that common factor? It is my real self. And when I recognize and realize, I move from the struggle to flow, fragmentation to wholeness, fear to profound fear, trust, or fearlessness. Profound to fearlessness, individual burden to blessing and grace of the innermost self. I move from seeing to being. I move from struggle to flow, fragmentation to wholeness, fear to profound trust. So, no, your master has already died. I said, no, he has left the physical form, but he is always with me. It is your trust awakens the master in you. Why? That spiritual consciousness is always available. Individual burden to the divine partnership, it is seen to be. Hold on for a minute, I'm taking you to the same para prakriti and apara prakriti. Apara prakriti, the lower nature. Because of the lower nature, Krishna in the Shiva appears in the name and the form, the image of the Krishna in the Shiva. Deep inside is the para prakriti, because Krishna is both para and the apara. Shiva is both para and apara. Really? Yes, it is there. So come on, look at yourself. Body, breath, mind, intellect, ego, thought, speech, action, sleep, waking, dream, reaction, anger, hesitation, pleasure, everything belongs to the lower prakriti. And para prakriti is also present in you. That para prakriti is already there. Why? Because the lower nature always dependent on the para prakriti, on the pure consciousness. So where is the problem? I am still living in ignorance. I do not identify myself with the Shiva. I do not identify myself with the Shiva. That is a very subtle ego. Very gentle but subtle ego. When I say Om Namah Shivaya, now how I say it? I see the image, and now that image, maybe of statue or a portrait or picture it is not the Shiva. That Shiva in the name and the form appears in front of me. Om Namah Shivaya. It appears in front of me. The way I see the Shiva appears in the name and the form of a honey and the daughter, now I see it appears in front of me with the name and form. It appears inside me in the without name in the form, and that helps me to absorb into a deeper state of meditation. It happens. It can happen anytime. It can happen anytime. Whether you are in a mall, talking to honey, talking to anyone, managing your finances, sitting in a restroom, it should happen in all the locations, all the time. Now, there is still a doubt. What is this body, mind, intellect? This is the nature of, lower nature of the Krishna and the Shiva. What is that pure consciousness? That is the higher nature of Shiva. Then who am I? Who am I? Do I have a separate identity? Answer is no. So why I am constantly using the term I am separate and limited? Am I Shiva appearing in the name and the form? Answer is yes. This is what I wanted to tell you.
What I was going to say is the name and the form appearing inside of Shiva.
Inside of
yeah, maybe it's
that is that. So you see that by upasana, by open to receiving blessing in the grace, by consistently purifying the mind, we are centered in ourselves. That knowledge removes the ignorance, and now I see, oh, so that Shiva is there. There is no one, there is no ego-driven thought, speech and action. It is only the Shiva is here and now. Shiva is here and now that I am not. What I am not is the false I. So the false I drops and dissolves. That is what the master is saying. I'm taking today's lesson also. That is what the three meanings of the I, when Krishna uses the personal worship me. I am within you. I am beyond lower nature. He is referring to that. He is saying that you have to see from the standpoint of wave. Ocean is different from the wave. So it appears in the name and the form of the wave. I have to, in empirical world of relationship, I have to live internally how my honey appears. Shiva appears in the name and the form of the honey or the daughter relations or the objects. Sometimes I say, oh, what is about this bed where I was lying down a moment ago in deep sleep? None other than the Shiva. What about this room? None other than the Shiva. What about the computer screen? None other than the Shiva. Single attachment from the multiple. Why attachment? We have understood. What we have understood. Pure consciousness plus tamoguna is material world. Common factor is the consciousness. Common factor is not the colorful screen and table and clothes and the screen. No, no, no. Why? Why no? It is constantly changing. Why? So what is changing is not me. Oh, what you are saying. And this understanding blows the mind. It blows the mind. That is what the Krishna is saying. So he says, this is I referring to my specific perceivable physical form. So you can use this physical form to get rid of the attachment. For example, when you say I am fat, you are referring to your physical body. It is the I that changes, grows old, was thin, has become old, but behind that, I, Krishna and the Shiva is there. How can you say that? Prove it. Okay, remove the consciousness from that I you say. Can you say I am fat? You already know more. When the body is dead, we use the phrase, the body of the Michael has come. When a live person comes, we say, you have come. It proves that Krishna is present there. Master is referring this Krishna. Second I, the innermost self, without name in the form. I refers to that innermost self which controls all the three gunas. I am an infinite, very small fractional part of the individual consciousness. Innermost self controls. That is the second I Krishna refers. That is where we can recognize and realize in meditation. That is why Patanjali says object-less state of the mind helps you to recognize the innermost self. Yogaschitta vritti nirodha. Behind that, behind the innermost self is the pure consciousness. This is the ultimate I. So Krishna uses the three I's. That I constantly descends in the form of a blessing, in the form of a grace all the time. If my mind is not pure, if I don't get rid of this I, if I don't recognize that Krishna or Shiva appears in different name in the form, starting from the matter to plants and animals and the human beings, then my mind is totally open, and in that opening, I receive the blessing. That is why the Master says that these are the three manifestations. Imagine a word, bank. It could mean a river bank, a physical edge, or a money bank. But without the context, bank is confusing. So we say the word I with the name in the form, the word I with the innermost self, and the word I is the ultimate reality behind the three gunas. Bank, what do you mean by bank? River bank or money bank? One example. Beautiful. What is beautiful? sea beach is beautiful, or your honey is beautiful, or second girl is cute and beautiful. What is? I need some reference. So the Krishna says, here is a reference. This name in the form you meditate on to get rid of the attachment. You meditate on the inner self to reach to the objectless state, to recognize that there is some inner controller. And beyond that, you recognize the ultimate reality, which is the 6 attributes we discussed in Gita chapter 2. It is eternal, it is truth, it is all-pervading, cannot be objectified, cannot be modified. Oh, you reach there. Water cannot be modified. You can find the same water in Australia, in Japan, in India, and US. The water with a different name in the form, it can be a flood, it can be a storm. We had a very severe and sorry state of affairs. Many younger ones who were camping, they sank into the flooded water. Oh, so is that. So what Krishna is doing, Krishna is solving all our challenges, how I have to think, speak and act at the empirical level, in the worldly level of relationship. How I have to live within me and what is beyond. So there is no struggle living your personal life, professional life, social life, family life. If there is a struggle, it is because of ignorance, nothing more, nothing less. So that the moment what normally we do, I'm just paying, I'm going, my mind prompted me to go to another principle. I'm not talking of the principle, but I'm talking practical. Mind says I'm very sad. Sadness engulfs me, surrounds me. So instead of challenging the sadness, I get carried away by the sadness, otherwise I'm not worthy of suffering. Why I'm sad? No more, I don't have money now. So instead of challenging the sadness, which is because I expected certain amount which I don't have and don't possess, instead of thinking the money will come to go, what exactly is your multiple attachment in the world? That is why you are seeking the money. Get rid of that attachment so you challenge your sadness.
I know exactly what you mean. Because the situation is irrelevant, right? In the past, you would say, "Well, I'll challenge that sadness, but that one's warranted, right?" But I've discovered nothing is warranted. Challenge it all.
I'm okay living at home. I practiced your meditation, and I enjoy, and still my mind is expecting to meet my friends and have a glass of wine. I said, who told you not to have it? You want to go with the expectations of peace and happiness, meeting with your friends to have a glass of wine. It will never happen. That is what you have been doing for the last 40 years. I told him. Now you recognize that you are in peace and happiness. When you left all of them, you left all the parties, now you experience that peace and happiness. First step. Now second step, with that peace, you go out. So you're not expecting the peace and joy and happiness and with a glass of wine. Whether you take it or you don't take it, it doesn't matter. And then what will happen?
I realized that I thought, why don't I like going out to dinner? Or, I used to get so excited, But I realized like now a meal is a meal.
Meal
I
is
can
a
take it
meal.
or leave it. And I used to get excited to go out to a nice restaurant, and I thought, wow, so many things like that just don't capture any attention. You know, they've just gone away. Which is, I can go and be perfectly fine, but I never look forward. You know, it's like whatever.
Yeah. If my honey says, okay, yes, I have the resources, so let us go.
Why not?
Let us go. But internally, you are aware. We had a long discussion yesterday with my son. So he was not aware, and I told him that Swami Ramtirth was in US and he met FDR, and this was the conversation. He's a computer and AI Greek, so he sent me the image of his speeches. I'll send you those. So he sent me the speeches, and he said it means that is why we are in US. You see, it is a thought process, how you think. So it is why our masters pushed us to be in US. Because Swami Ramtirth was his previous birth and this is his current birth. We met him in the current birth. But he always used to say in the previous birth, I was Swami Ram. He used to say that. So I said there is no reason not to believe it because our master said it. And then he said that I could see the way he uses the phrases, find the real home inside you, to the FDR. My master used to use a different phrase, "O mind, be at peace, this will also pass." O mind, you are sad, inquire, dissolve sadness. You are, O mind, be at peace, this will also pass. Why you are not in peace? Because of superficial expression of sadness because of your attachment and expectation. So he said, this is what I'm saying. We continued chatting, almost for 2 or 3 hours. And he said, yes, we are because of our master in US. It is because of his blessing and grace. We should be open to that.
Why was he just second guessing living here or something? Or is this trying to create a synchronous expectation, or a cause and effect situation?
You see, no, so it is a single attachment. So single attachment helps to keep aside all the crazy thoughts, and that is why, how come he said to me, oh, it is because of the blessing and grace of our master. He was there in US, that is why we are here. Instead of claiming that, I'm a big guy, he's a big guy, definitely. He works for Fortune 500 companies and meetings and other stuff, but internally he is totally different guy. People don't understand. Let them do what they want to do. He has crafted, I will talk later about him, what he does. And I learned from that point from him. Why? Because he was open to the grace. So it means para prakriti, innermost self, and from there we find the ultimate reality, the real self, that is eternal. That is a revolutionary teaching. That is such a deeper understanding. Can I live into that knowledge? Like the space in a pot. When the pot breaks, the space remains unchanged. That is the ultimate reality. What is that pot? This body. Let this pot break, I am that reality.
We imagine the space in that pot is being shaped, right? Yeah. I feel like, but it's not. But the illusion is that
it's illusion.
The space is now a pot-shaped space, right? But it's not. It's all pervading.
All pervading. Now apply that wisdom in your daily life. This body is a pot. You hear the word death. My friend died. Good. Your mind perceives that the pot breaks. No one died. And then you go inside, you touch the inner self. You realize that I'm all pervading, finished.
Mm-hmm.
You live into that reality. You live into that reality. Compare this with what Swami Ramtir said. Friend FDR, you let me know your real home. I'll send you the God there. It was a metaphor. He has not to send the God there. He will recognize and realize that I'm of the nature of that God. So our masters' uses, they are unparalleled, extraordinary masters.
Oh, you mentioned grace, and I was thinking, we're always looking, people seem to think grace is always positive. It is positive, but usually we can't see grace, right? Because I feel like grace is teaching us typically, and sometimes we don't want to be taught.
Yeah, yes.
So I think grace becomes only a positive term, but I think grace is hard.
Yes. I think you touched upon one good thing, and that prompted me to say you something. One guy, I think a couple of weeks ago, and I'm suffering, I have a lot of challenges. In India, I said, I have seen your house, it's we normally say BHK. So BHK means 4 BHK means 4 bedroom home. So I said, I have seen you the 4 bedroom home. Oh yes, do you still have it? Yes, you have it. Is it not a grace? You are suffering because of your expectation, and that is why you say that I did not have a grace and blessing of the God. You are comparing, you are fighting with your expectations. What the heck you are talking about? He is a good seeker. What you are talking about? Are you not independent of your 2 kids? They are doing their own work. Is it not a grace? Is it not a grace, My daughter is settled there, son is settled there. Otherwise, you remain busy and attached to them. Is it not a grace? My kids talk about this spirituality. Is it not a grace? My all 5 sense organs are intact. Is it not a grace? I have a even humble house. That is not a grace. You are talking to me. You are not going to a bar to take a glass of whiskey to think about that you don't have a grace. You are talking to me. Is it not a grace? He did not have anything. Sometimes I'm very tough on those people who have been with me for so many years. So then I fire them. But that firing is out of love and compassion. You are right. At this age of 60, you are healthy. Is it not a grace?
People are reluctant to accept that. I notice when you say, oh wait,
yes, people are reluctant to. That is the problem. So come back. Apara Prakriti, the lower nature. You experience yourself through the 8 components. Ashtadhava, eightfold lower nature. I experience through the eightfold lower nature of Krishna. It belongs to them, not to me. But then I hold that I experience. Very good. So this is so we say, okay, this is your changing individuality. And what about your para prakriti, the higher nature? You are also fundamentally pure consciousness, the unchanging witness that perceives and illuminates all your experiences. That is, all your experiences of the lower nature are illuminated in the presence of the higher nature. Very good. So we are moving into another. So then who is an individual? So individual, in many religions we use the word soul and the spirit. So just, individual, which is fundamentally is para prakriti in association with ignorance. What I'm saying, pay attention again. I am an individual. Fundamentally, I'm the ultimate reality in association with ignorance. That is why I feel I'm limited. That is why I feel I'm sad. Moment you have an individual awareness, that I'm an individual, okay, I'm an individual. So I'm sitting here, so I'm sitting here. So it means I'm sitting here, it means I'm the body. That is ignorance. So, but I'm the ultimate reality in association with ignorance that I am the body. But fact is that I am ultimate reality. That is what
remind myself, there are no individuals, right?
Yeah. That is what I have to recognize and realize by understanding the nitty and gritty and the smaller, subtler aspects. And that is in one way. Now you see how to express that in a language. So one master says that Ishwar is hiding behind the individual. So now we will understand that. Is this statement right, wrong, or where is the problem? It is a profound question. We have to understand, is the Ishwar, innermost self, hides behind the individual? Because that is what I think it hides behind the individual. So my individual ego takes over. I'm the body and small and thin, and I have money and no money. Or simple. Make it simple. Does the God hide unveiling the truth of the Ishwar and the Jiva? What is this? It's a nuanced question. We know the Ishvara is the innermost self, is the ultimate reality that appears as individual due to ignorance and Maya. Let us break down in a simple way. Absolute reality, one pure consciousness. Ishvara, the innermost self, the cosmic controller. Maya is there. Maya is the cosmic power of individual. What is the individual self? Individual self, pure consciousness plus ignorance, means Raju and Tamoguna and the 5 body. Now, Ishvara is like a brilliant original sun. Individual is like the sun's reflection in a disturbed pond. That is your individuality. When you say I am an individual, how dare you insult me? Nobody can insult me. You insult the body. Body is a matter. Normally, if someone looks at you and insults you, so he is insulting the body. Body doesn't listen to it. What I'm saying, innermost self is like a brilliant, original sun, and the individual is like a sun's reflection in a disturbed pond or a pot. And the pond is individual ignorance makes the reflection appear fragmented and limited. That is why I experience suffering, but the sun itself isn't hiding. The sun is still present in that pond, but it is not in the pond. It is not the pond. It is not the body. It is not in the body. It is everywhere. So it means to say it hides? No, it doesn't hide. Does the sun hide behind the blackout curtain? No, it is still there. So Ishvara is like the total infinite space. Take another metaphor. Individual is like the space within a pot. The pot is body-mind complex, merely limits the perception of the infinite space, making it seem contained. It is contained in the pot. Innermost self is like the total. It is all-pervading. It is the inner controller. We have already understood. But the individual is the space within a pot, and that pot is eightfold lower nature. So eightfold lower nature limits my perception of the Ishvara, which I say Ishvara hides in me. Fact is, it doesn't hide. It doesn't hide. So the ultimate reality is one, appears differently as innermost self and as the individual self. In order to move from the individual self to that universe or innermost self, I have to do the upasana, I have to practice meditation, I have to remove the ignorance, I should have a single attachment, I should, and then I can recognize. Chapter 7 talks about upasana and receiving the blessing in the grace. Ignorance is the veil. Ignorance as the veil. What is that ignorance? That I am the pot. Or I am the pot space. Ignorance is the veil. So it is the ignorance is what makes me perceive individual as a separate and limited entity, because I am perceiving from the point of view of the body, your body, my body, and I stick to that, I am attached to that. When I am attached to this body, then we are at two different locations, attending this session, receiving and learning. If I am not the body, if I am not the pot space, if I am not the wave, so realization is unveiling, removing that ignorance. So what is the conclusion? Innermost self doesn't hide. Individual own ignorance create the perception of separation. Did I make it clear? Innermost sun doesn't hide. What it means sun doesn't hide? What do you say? Oh, what is in the sky is clouded. Oh, it's a clouded? The sun is clouded by the clouds, yes. Sun is veiled by the clouds. Very good. Very good. I understand that. But how can you see the clouds? Only in the presence of a sunlight? There is no other light by which you say that the sun is clouded? Are you getting it? Sunlight is there. I cannot see sun directly. Now come to the same. Innermost self doesn't hide. It is here and now. It is the individual. It is my own ignorance creates the perception of separation. That the sun is clouded. But the sun, in the presence of the sunlight, I am seeing the sun is clouded. Well, how it happens, that is what the Maya is. Maya is a cosmic creative power and ignorance is the individual ignorance. They both start working, and when they both start working, then we find we are limited, we are sad, we are unhappy. I will divorce and I will remarry to be happy, but nothing happens. I'm married to be happy. I'm excited. I said, why you are excited? Because I'm getting married. Couple of months ago, I said, okay. So, you will remain excited after the marriage? Are you crazy? I said, no, I'm not crazy. You are crazy. Because you are building a relationship with someone outside in excitement. When this excitement fades away, your mind will enter into conflict. I can guarantee you. Are you cursing me? No, I said I'm telling you the fact.
Are you cursing?
I'm not cursing. So he said, I have to think it over. So after a couple of weeks, it happened after 3-4 months. So you are right, I was thinking that after the marriage, the excitement of the marriage will fade away. Then I need to be excited to remarry. He used the wrong logic for right reason. I said yes. I told him that you are using a wrong logic for a right reason. So your mind will constantly jump from one excitement to the other, and that will create a hamster wheel of expectations, and you will never be happy. And the same way with that girl who is also thinking of the same level of excitement. So both will say that I have found you, I dated you for years, and I found you, you are a soulmate, but now after marriage, few months, excitement is gone. Now you will become soulmate. So you are responsible for it. That is the individual ignorance that hides the innermost self, and that is why we are moving in the journey of from